Make sure your home inspector only does home inspections and that you're not engaging a contractor who is finding problems and finding more work. You don't need somebody who's looking for fix-up jobs and renovations and getting that conflict involved in your home inspection. Seek out unbiased referrals. You may get them from family who has experience with home inspectors. Real estate agents who've been in business for many years may know good people in the area. You want to make sure that you know that real estate agent well and that they have your best interests at heart and are giving you people who are going to be very thorough in their inspection, as opposed to some people they might know who are a little bit less stringent. You also want to make sure that you've got an inspector who's not an alarmist about minor issues and is just giving you the facts. It's the information, the facts that you want to help you make an educated decision. Make sure you pick up the phone and talk to this candidate inspector and that you have good rapport with them. Do you understand the way they communicate? Do they make things simple for you? Do they answer your questions in a manner that is comfortable for you? So rapport is key. And once you started that trusting relationship, you've got a professional there on your team that's working for your best interests. Make sure you're respecting the team member that's working for you. Give them an accurate description of the house. Make sure you know basically how old it is, where it is, how big it is. It doesn't have to be really precise, but make sure that you're giving the home inspector an accurate picture of what they're going to be encountering. If during the sales process you've seen some things that are of concern, mention them right up front to the home inspector so they have an idea of the condition of the house. And don't undermine the relationship by price shopping or making cash deal offers. You wouldn't do that to your lawyer, your real estate agent. Make sure that you're respecting the team member. Book a reasonable time for your inspection. Make sure that you've left a few days before your condition expires. There may be some extra investigations by other experts or contractors, estimates necessary for repair work, things that need to be improved in the house. And you want to make sure that you've got time to call somebody, call multiple people if you need estimates, and get them in there and get their paperwork back to you before your condition expires. If you have to go back to the vendor and ask for an extension to the deal, basically you've lost control of the deal, and you want to make sure, if you're interested in that house, that you don't relinquish that control. You're hiring an inspector to have a look at your property. I know it's difficult sometimes to take time off from work and whatever, but don't schedule or try to schedule the inspection after dark. After all, you're hiring us to have a look at that property. We want to be able to see the property clearly. Some inspectors work weekends. I do. Not all inspectors do. But try to respect family holidays. They have other things to do as well. And don't push an inspection into an overly busy schedule just because of time constraints. If an inspector has already got 2 inspections that day and you're trying to push him to have a third, there really isn't time or bandwidth to do a proper job of an inspection once you get beyond 2 a day. So at least the way that I look at it, there's enough work there that you can really only do a proper job of 2. It's better to get a fresh inspector on the next day and be the first one out of the gate. Make sure you've had a look at the contract and the standards of practice when you engage your home inspector. You should read those before you arrive at the inspection. Hopefully they're written more in English than in legalese, and you can understand the service that you're going to be getting. The standard of practice helps clarify what things are looked at and what things aren't. And it avoids spending a long time on that rather than getting on with the inspection when you arrive on site. Make sure you have realistic expectations of the inspector. The standard of practice does talk about things that we don't look at. There's so many hundreds of things to look at in a house, we can't possibly look at them all. Things like low voltage lighting and security alarm systems, those kinds of things. We'd be there all day if we were looking at those things. They're less material importance than structural items, things that are broken, safety items, etc. So that's what we're going to spend the majority of our time on. And if you have questions, certainly bring them up and discuss them with your inspector, preferably before you get there, but you're going to get a chance to review those contracts before the inspection begins. And, any question you have, feel free to ask. But help keep things on track. Once you've got the inspection going on and you're moving through the house, try to ask your questions that pertain to the area of the house that you're in. It's just going to throw your inspector off if you're asking questions about the master ensuite while you're in the basement. There's a lot of things that have to be looked at in each room, and just try to focus on those. Make a note if you have a question, and make sure you get a chance to ask it later. There's no point in asking questions that are overly broad and asking for whether the inspector would buy this house. It's your house. The question is whether you want to buy the house with the information that you've learned about it. Asking the inspector whether they would buy the house doesn't really help with your situation. Their needs may be very different than your own. And questions like who the good and bad builders are, well, we all have opinions about that, but in my experience, the same builder with one crew can have a very high quality house, and with another crew, things didn't go quite so well. Different weather conditions, there's lots of variability in how houses go together, so it's really not a great question to ask. And asking for cost estimates for all the items as you go through the house. The home inspector isn't a contractor. The contractor is the one that's going to have to deliver to those numbers. We can give you an idea of whether we think it's a major or significant item, but don't expect quotes from the home inspector. It's not a contracting business. This is a key one. Make sure you're present at the inspection, both physically and mentally. Occasionally we get people who feel they're too busy to come out to the inspection. The purchase of that home is a major investment for you. You want to get as much information as you can. You want to understand what's coming at you in that report later, and it's your best opportunity to see how things unfold while you're in the house and ask questions as they come into your mind. Don't bring kids, relatives, or leave pets in the car or anything else that's going to distract you from the business at hand. That's what I mean by being there mentally. You want to be reasonably attentive as you're going through that property. If you're trying to picture where the furniture goes, or you're taking measurements with tapes and envisioning the future of this house, you're not really concentrating on the issue at hand, which is to understand how that house operates and what defects there may be at the present time. Make sure you leave room in your schedule. If you're going to a home inspection and 90 minutes later you've got an appointment, you're going to try and rush through and cram more work into that 90 minutes than can be done. For a single inspector, you should plan on 2.5 hours. If the home has other issues, good inspectors will take the extra time. You don't want to have a time commitment that's immediately following your inspection, such that you're worrying about that and getting there when you should be present mentally at the inspection. And don't be a yabbit. Some buyers, well, maybe most buyers, have already decided emotionally they really want that house. Now, obviously, you wouldn't put an offer in if you didn't want to buy that house, so that much is a given. But if you get so attached to it that you don't want to hear anything negative, you're not going to learn what you need to learn before you're committed to that property. So try to show a little bit of emotional detachment Try and be a detective. Try and learn what you can about the house while you've got the opportunity. And you don't need to have a debate about the defects as they come up. Every house has defects. It's natural that we're going to find them. Just try and understand what they are. Make sure that you've heard the inspector's observations. You know the extent of what he's talking about, and if it's significant, there'll be other contractors to come in and if necessary, take things apart to get into the details of it. Remember that you're paying for the inspector to find defects and that every house has them. Every house has them. I have yet to find a house that didn't have multiple defects in it. There's hundreds of items that we look at. They're complicated structures to put together. You've got crews coming and going, and for the most part coming and going as fast as they can to get the work done. So there are things that pop up. We are not there to look at cosmetic issues, but there are still significant issues that you need to know about. And you want to know about them now. Read the report, and read is emphasized because you want to make sure you really absorb what's in it. Don't waive conditions until you've read it and understand it. And the deficiencies in a home have different impacts based on your own skill sets and the members in your family. If your partner is an electrician, you might not be too concerned about the same defect that is in one house that one family is concerned about. It may not be a concern for you. Similarly, if you've got a brother-in-law that's a carpenter, fixing that deck railing might be a weekend project and really nothing to get too excited about. So the important thing about a defect is that you recognize it, know about it, and you assess how significant it is to you. Get repair estimates, get more than one, and make sure you're talking in terms of a repair as opposed to a total replacement unless it's warranted. Occasionally you will get a reaction from a contractor that this is the best possible solution, this is what you should have. That may or may not be fair to the homeowner that's selling the property. So try and keep your scope of work to what's reasonable to have that thing functional, whatever that item is. And make sure you've discussed the timing with the agent, whether you want to address this defect by having the owner fix it or whether you're going to fix it. If there's a delayed closing, there can be issues behind that, so make sure you've discussed that. I hope this was helpful for you. We need to recognize that an inspection is a key part of your due diligence. Stay upbeat, see the potential in the property, not just the problems. Every house has challenges, as we've said. And the decision to buy or not remains your responsibility. A house doesn't pass or fail by the home inspection. It's just a way of giving you the information you need to know to make a better decision. For more helpful material, look at my website, www.homeexam.ca. There you'll find other articles that will be of use to you in your home buying endeavors and maintenance of the property once you have it. Best of luck with your purchase. Hope your family has a good experience with that house for many years. Take care.